Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here with Gents. Hope you guys are doing really well. So not that long ago, I did my top 10 designer fragrances for summer this year, 10 of the fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing the most. After I did that video, I asked my wife if she would be so kind as to come down here and pick out her choices for me to wear this summer, and she did. So she picked out her 10 choices, the fragrances that she would like me to wear the most, both niche and designer, making up these 10. And today, I'm gonna share those with you, the 10 fragrances that she chose for me to wear this summer, wife's choices. Let's check them out. I guess we'll start with this one. It's from Giorgio Armani. It's Acqua Profondo Lights. Yeah, with this one, she specifically said, you wear Profondo a lot. How about this one? Profondo Lights. Like, yeah, I wear Profondo. I like it. I like Acqua. It's kind of like one of the fragrances that got me into this whole thing. Now you're gonna shame me, make me wear a flanker of a flanker. Yeah, Profondo Lights, very similar to Profondo, so that's a good thing. It means she doesn't dislike the Profondo, which I already knew that, but she just wants a little twist. Don't we all sometimes want a little twist to shake things up ever so slightly, but not enough to get you out of your comfort zone? Yeah, that's pretty much what Profondo Lights is to Profondo. It's a little bit greener than Profondo, maybe not quite as bright, maybe not quite as sweet, but it does still have that Acqua DNA. It still has that mass appeal. So Acqua Profondo Lights, sure, I'll wear that, no problem. I like it. It's Acqua. After that, Montblanc Legend. Yeah, this one was a little bit of a surprise to me. She actually went to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Yeah, Fierce. And was like, maybe this one, and then actually settled on this one. That kind of shows you how Fierce works though, right? It's been out forever. It's like the ultimate mall fragrance. It's like the Conan the Barbarian of mall fragrances. And yet, still, with all this stuff, all down this wall, all behind the camera, all down that wall, just an insane, absurd amount of fragrances to choose from. Fierce, but that's fine, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm like that little meme of the dog where the house is on fire. This is fine. But yeah, Legend is like Fierce, quite similar to it, only much more affordable, which makes it more popular with guys in the fragrance community. It is a great fragrance though, in terms of versatility and mass appeal. This has got that for sure. So Montblanc Legend, that is one of the choices. And it's not really necessarily a straight up summer fragrance. That one you could pull off across most of the year, realistically. Uh-oh, it's niche time. Neo from Xerjoff. The opening of Neo has got my wife weak. She really, really, really likes it. The citrus in the opening here is top notch. It's next level. When you smell it, you immediately know that it's expensive. You don't need to see the bottle. You don't need to see the name. You don't need to know what it is. Just when you smell it, you know right away, oh, that's expensive. It's like eating something that Gordon Ramsay cooked. You just know. And you know with Neo, when you smell it right away, that is stunning. That is one of the best smelling openings of any summer fragrance that has ever been done, period. The dry down's nice too. Little green tinge to it. Neo is fantastic. You know where they got Neo? TwistedLily.com. You know what you can get 10% off that website with? The code GENTS10. Also, Joma Shop, $8 off any order over $110 if you use the code GENTS8. These codes, man, they're killing me. Smalls. Now this next choice put a little question mark above my head, but I kind of get it. It's Jimmy Choo Urban Hero Gold Edition. So here recently, my wife and I did a smell and rate between cheap and expensive summertime fragrances. One of those cheap fragrances was Urban Hero, the original, and she chose it over the expensive fragrance it was going against, which led us to Urban Hero Gold Edition, because after it was all said and done, I said, well, you should check this one out because I think it's much better than Urban Hero. And she agreed, and now she wants me to wear it. It's got pineapple and blood orange in the opening. It's got tonka, it has lavender. People absolutely love in the fragrance community to hate on this. Massive amounts of hate, just dumping hate on it, just globbing it over top. Just taking a ladle and just bloop, hate, bloop, hate, bloop. Which, to be fair, I myself, not a big proponent of Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. I don't really dig it, not my thing. But I think Gold Edition is much better. And for the type of scent that they're going for with this, youthful, sweet, attention grabbing, they did a pretty good job actually. It will never, ever, ever, ever be a critical darling of the fragrance world, but I think it smells pretty good. Niche time, once again, Olfactive Studio, Still Life in Rio. This has been an off and on favorite of hers ever since I got it. It's also a fragrance that I've worn on vacation numerous times as well, so I think there's a little bit of that association there. It's warm and sweet and fresh and boozy, citrusy, all at once. Still Life in Rio is one of those niche fragrances that crosses over into having mainline designer appeal. Almost said mainline, mainstream appeal, but that's too much main. You can only have one main, not two. Next up on the chopping block here is Light Blue Italian Love. She thought about going with Light Blue forever, but that got a lot of wear last year, and this one carries over a lot of that citrusy feeling in the top that she loved so much in Light Blue Forever. So Italian Love it is. Now, Italian Love is a little bit less divisive, I would say, than Light Blue Forever. I still love Light Blue Forever, don't care what anybody says about that, but Italian Love is a little more easygoing. The citrus, not quite as rindy, not quite as potentially off-putting in the opening, smoothed out a little bit, I would say. Also, an additional bonus, it's an eau de toilette, and it's cheaper at retail than Forever is. So if you don't have it and you were looking at buying them at retail, Italian Love will save you a little bit of money. After that, a fragrance from Jean Paul Gaultier from last year. It is Le Male On Board. This one, a sweet, citrusy, aquatic. The tonka giving kind of a vanillic feel to it. Bergamot giving you a nice bit of freshness off the top. And of course, with this being called On Board, got kind of an aquatic feel as well. So many fragrance houses come out with summer flankers every single year that are uninspired and boring and almost unwearable. You know, you buy them for pennies on the dollar, you spray it on, and you just think to yourself, oh, great, another clearance bin scent. Yay. It's not always the case, of course. Sometimes you have a summertime flanker that comes out of left field and you're not looking and it just cracks you in the face and reminds you, don't take anything for granted, including thinking things suck. Don't take that for granted. There are some houses that are worse than others, worse offenders, but Jean Paul Gaultier pretty consistently actually comes out with summertime flankers that are really good, at least it being very versatile, easy to wear, and mass appealing. And that's usually because they'll put in a good amount of sweetness that helps counterbalance a little bit that freshness in the scent. Too often with summertime flankers, they just end up smelling like a slightly abrasive shower gel, fresh kind of scent without a whole lot of depth. And at least with these summer Jean Paul Gaultiers, when you spray them on, they've got a good amount of depth to them. They've got some heft. And I'll tell you, the sweetness in Le Male On Board is surprisingly very nice, especially in the air. You start catching wafts of this throughout the day. You walk by people and they pick it up off you. Really, really good smelling. Now one that makes me quite happy. It's from Acqua de Parma and it's Arancia di Capri. Now, in that same video that I mentioned where she smelled the Urban Hero, she also smelled Fico di Amalfi, which really blew her away, and she went back and revisited the Acqua de Parma fragrances. And this one caught her attention, as well as Fico di Amalfi, but I didn't want to put two Acqua de Parmas in here. So if you want, we can just say Fico di Amalfi is an honorable mention. Fico di Amalfi, woo! Great job, yeah. The opening of this fragrance is one of my favorite citrus openings of any fragrance, period. Maybe it doesn't smell as rich and classy and sophisticated as Neo, but I think it smells just as nice in its own way. The orange in here is next level. It's bright, it's juicy, it's sweet, mixes together with lemon, which gives it a little tart zing to it off the top. As it dries down, a little bit of petitgrain, caramel, also one of the notes in here. So kind of an interesting base. A touch of fresh water-flecked greenery, and then a little bit of a sweet, slightly gourmand edge. Interesting. More muskiness, though, I would say, than caramel, but still interesting to talk about. Absolutely love that one. As far as the opening goes, I think it's the best of the line. And then one that's a little bit of a surprise. It's Stronger With You Only from Emporio Armani. The new, fresher take on Stronger With You. When you first spray it on, you get a nice fresh blast of grapefruit and lavender, but that Stronger With You DNA is underneath everything right away. And as it dries down, it does warm up, it sweetens up, it gets a little bit denser. So if it's a very hot day in summer, probably go for one of these other ones. But if it's during the evening or a cooler day, maybe a rainy day, something like that, then this would be a good choice. It has that glazed kind of chestnut, that toffee sort of vibe that you find across the line, as well as bourbon vanilla in here in the base as it dries. I loved Stronger With You Freeze. I think that's a very nice release, but as far as just mainstream wearability, Stronger With You Only is going to appeal to more people than Freeze, even if I personally think Freeze is better. And lastly, we go with a fragrance that once again proves that my wife absolutely loves extremely citrusy openings, L1212 Blanc Eau Fraiche from Lacoste. It has ginger, grapefruit, lemon, and apple combining once you spray this one on. I've talked about it a million times, ginger and citrus. When you put it together, as long as you do it right, can be magic, because it just gives that citrus an extra push, an extra liveliness, an extra sparkle, a little bit of sweetness and freshness that really takes it to the next level. And the opening here, as far as summertime citrusy, fresh, sporty gym type scents goes, is next level. As it dries down, you're gonna get a little bit of an aromatic touch to it, but it mainly focuses on kind of an ambroxany modern woodiness in the base. Absolutely though, the type of fragrance nobody's gonna dislike. Nobody is going to comment and say anything negatively about this. It is so easygoing, which is exactly what you expect from Lacoste. And that was not her final choice of the bunch, but I figured I'd bring it up last because she has been absolutely hammering that fragrance already this year, putting a little dent into it as we go. All right, guys, that will do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me here until the end. Let me know what your significant other makes you wear or asks you to wear during the summertime. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.